The camera pans across the lush, vibrant landscape of the Tewa kingdom. The sun rises over majestic mountains, rivers snake through the valleys, and fertile fields stretch as far as the eye can see. The beauty and prosperity of the kingdom are evident. King Koinet, Tewa, a land blessed by the gods. A kingdom where the earth itself is fertile, and the hearts of its people are warm. This is my home, my responsibility. We transition to the grand court of King Koinet. The hall is filled with advisors, nobles, and citizens seeking the king's wisdom. King Koinet sits on his throne, listening intently to each petition, his eyes sharp, yet his face carries a hint of sadness. King Koinet, addressing a petitioner, your request is just. We will provide the resources needed to rebuild your village after the flood. No one in Tewa should suffer alone. As the petitioner leaves with gratitude, the Prime Minister, Mr. Lucia, approaches the king. The two share a silent understanding, having known each other for years. Mr. Lucia, quietly, another day of good deeds, my friend. Yet, I see the weight on your shoulders grows heavier. King Koinet, with a weary smile, it is the duty of a king, Lucia, to carry the burdens of his people. But the weight of a family lost, that is a different kind of pain. In a brief, poignant flashback, we see Queen Nalai. She is a vibrant, strong woman, laughing and speaking with King Koinet in a sunlit garden. They share a deep bond, their love palpable. The flashback fades to her funeral, where King Koinet stands alone, his children notably absent. King Koinet, Nalai was my strength, my guide through the darkest nights. Without her, even the brightest day seems dim. As the day turns to night, the palace grows quiet. King Koinet walks through the empty halls, the shadows reflecting his loneliness. He enters his private chambers, where the absence of Queen Nalai is painfully evident. Her belongings remain untouched, a silent reminder of what he has lost. King Koinet, to himself, what would you do, Nalai? Our children, they've lost their way, and I fear I am losing mine. We see glimpses of King Koinet's children, each in their own world, far removed from the values of their father. Nio and Lemmy, in a luxurious club, surrounded by dubious characters, they waste their time and money on fleeting pleasures, oblivious to the consequences. Danny, in a foreign city, gambling away his inheritance, living recklessly without a thought for the future. Nini, Millie, and Nikki, we see only fleeting, shadowy images of them, suggesting their involvement in something darker and more dangerous. Back in the palace, Mr. Lucia speaks with King Koinet, his tone a mix of concern and urgency. Mr. Lucia, you've done everything for your people, but what of your children? They've become lost, Koinet, and you must bring them back, before it's too late. King Koinet, I've tried, Lucia. But they do not listen. They've strayed too far, and I fear they do not even know their way back. Mr. Lucia, cut them off. Let them feel the absence of your support, and they will return. And investigate. We need to know just how deep their troubles run. King Koinet nods slowly, the decision a heavy one. He knows Mr. Lucia is right, but it doesn't make the choice any easier. King Koinet summons his personal assistants and lawyers, setting in motion a discreet but thorough investigation into his children's lives. The reports that come back are worse than he feared. Personal assistant, nervously, Your Majesty, the situation is dire. Your sons are involved in criminal activities across multiple countries. Your daughters, there are rumors, but nothing concrete yet. King Koinet, softly, Nalai knew, didn't she? She was trying to handle this without burdening me. Lawyer, yes, Your Majesty. But the scale of the problem was too great, even for her. The next morning, King Koinet stands in his study, looking out over the kingdom he has built. He knows what must be done. He cancels his children's financial support, closes their bank accounts, and recalls their vehicles. It is a drastic measure, but one he hopes will bring them back to him. King Koinet, to himself, I have failed as a father, but I will not fail as a king. I will bring my children home, whatever it takes.